What's going on all my fantasy football fans out there? It's Waiver Wire Queen. This evening, I am going to show you how to create a dynasty league using the Sleeper app. That's right, y'all. I use the Sleeper app for all of my dynasty leagues and my redraft leagues. This is my favorite app right now. And I'm just going to show you guys how to start up a league, specifically a dynasty league. Let's jump right into it. The Dynasty League is becoming one of my favorite parts of fantasy football. I used to just do redraft, did the Keeper League a few times, but I really love the Dynasty League because I feel like I'm involved with football all year round. So if you are looking to still feel a part of football for the whole year, then the Dynasty League is for you. So what you would do is you would log into the Sleeper app, go on and get your username, password, log on in. Then you'll look at different items on here and you'll see direct messages. If you get messages from people, then you got your inbox, you'll see here. And then when you go right here, you'll see leagues and you will hit the plus sign. And this is on the desktop. All right, so once you hit that plus sign, you'll see the option to choose your game. Right now, they don't have the option to create the fantasy basketball league on a desktop. You'll have to go do that on the mobile app. So you'll see the option for fantasy football. You get the option to choose up to 32 number of teams. For the purpose of this, we're going to name this league Waiver Wire Queen. Let's just name it Waiver Wire Queen. That's right, y'all. Hit that like button for Waiver Wire Queen. All right, so we're going to name this Waiver Wire Queen. And then you choose the number of teams you want. So you should already have an idea of how many teams you want in your league. And the teams will be, say, we're going to do 10. So you'll have 10 teams. So you'll have one. And then you'll need 9 other people to join your league. And then add a logo. So we're going to go in and add the logo. We're going to add the Waiver Wire Queen logo for the purposes of this league. So let's get right to it. Find my logo. On in and what it will do is you'll click and it'll prompt you and it'll take you to what your files on your computer. So do that. And I'm going to just pick a logo. Let's go. Pick Waiver Wire Queen logo and get it started. So let's go down here. And I'm just going to pick this one right here. So you just double click and it'll take some time to upload it. And then you'll just drag and position it to what you prefer. We're going to leave it like that because that looks good to me. And then we'll hit the save button. So you'll save your logo for the league, which is a really cool thing. And then you'll hit next. If you want to make changes to the league name, you can do that as well. You want to switch the logo out, you can do that as well. And you have the option of 3 league types. You have the redraft, keeper, and dynasty. We're going to do a dynasty league. And this is going to be our first draft. This is a startup dynasty league. So we're going to do a snake draft. You have other options if you want linear, which is it'll always go back to whoever gets that first pick. They will always have the first pick at the beginning of each round. Auction is pretty much bidding on players. So you will you still randomize if you randomize, which is a good thing. Randomize the draft order and say I got the first pick. I can bid on I'll select a player and we'll start bidding on a certain player. So we're gonna do snake because that to me seems like the fairest thing. And then let's create this dynasty league using the great Sleeper app. Give it some time to load up. Let's go. Boom. Look at that. We already have our league. So what else we're going to do is we're going to, before I start sending out invites, and I'll always already have in mind who I'm going to invite to the league. I always check with people before I even start the league, because you don't want to start a league, you don't have people and you don't have enough people. So I already know who I'm going to invite to this league. So what I want to do is set up the rosters and scoring and all of that good stuff before I extend out the invite to everyone in the league. And you'll see right here, you can copy the invite and you can email it to them, you text it to them, whatever you want to do when it comes to that invite. If you are on the mobile app, you can send it to individuals who are already using the Sleeper app. You can send it to them in a message and they'll get it and they can join that way. So let's start looking at the format of this team. We'll probably leave it the same just for the purposes of this draft, this test. So we're going to leave it just like this. We have a quarterback, 2 running backs, wide receiver, tight end. We have 2 flex, a kicker, a defense, and then you have a certain amount of bench slots. And then you see this is a dynasty league. So after you do your first draft, when you get out of that draft, you'll see the list the number of picks everyone will have. So I'll show you how to get that set up as well. So this is a PPR league. Let's go in here. We're going to click the wrench because the wrench is going to take us to all of the different functions that you have as the commissioner. So as you can see, your league settings, this is basic league settings. Choose the waiver type. We normally do the bidding. So let's leave it there. And then we'll keep it at 100. So what that is everyone will, like if it's a player that's available on waivers, everyone can put a bid in for that player. And so like say, this is an example, Deshaun Watson is on waivers and we all will put a bid in for him. So say I put $200 or something like that, and somebody else put $200, and whoever is highest on the waiver, whoever has priority will end up with them if we all put in the same amount. But say you'll have people who they don't submit anybody, they won't bid, they'll just try to add them to the roster, then you may lose him because somebody else may add money and bid on him. So we'll do after games Tuesday, leave that the same. Time players on the wire, I'm gonna just do 1 day. And we can keep every day the same for the purposes of just showing you how to create your dynasty league. Trades, we're gonna leave it at 2 days. Trade deadline, we're gonna leave it there. We're gonna leave playoff, the date the playoff starts, we'll leave it at week 15. And we're gonna leave it, since we have 10 teams, we're gonna leave it at 6 in the playoffs. And obviously we're gonna keep it at 1 week. So you see in the theme here, you get to select, you get to set up your team and make it your own and do exactly what you need to do to, get your league ready. It's a dynasty league. So you want to really make sure it has that real dynasty, like you're really owning your own, owning and running your own team. So playoff free seating, we're going to leave it at default. And then we're going to leave this here. Leave it in the toilet bowl bracket, and then IR slots. So what I'm going to do here is, let's say we'll add 4 IR slots, and we're adding these IR slots due to several different factors. A lot of players get hurt, COVID, and a bunch of other reasons. So the good thing about adding the IR slot is in the Sleeper app, you have the capabilities to determine what reasons players can be placed on the IR slot. So allow players with COVID-19 on the IR slot. Obviously, that is a no-brainer. Just remember when you click it so it's green, and that means it's on. Right now it's white, so it's not on. So you want to click it. So if a player has COVID, once that team tabs them as having COVID, then you'll be able to place them in an IR slot. Allow out players on the IR slot. So we're going to do that as well. Allow suspended players on the IR slot. I'm not going to do that. Allow NA players. I'm not going to do that. But you see, you have the options to go in there and determine who's eligible for the IR slot, which is great because some platforms you don't have the capabilities to determine who's on the IR slot, and you may just, your league is stuck pretty much with whatever default settings that platform utilizes and for the IR slot. And so you can allow did not report, hold out, opt out players on the IR slot, and you can allow doubtful. So doubtful, a lot of times doubtful players will turn into out. And what annoys me sometimes about the doubtful players is you wait and you got to wait until they pretty much finally place them in the out status. So I'm sure you guys know how that can go. Allow draft pick trading. So we're going to keep that on. As you can see, that's green. That is a great feature. You can, during the draft, you can make trades and you will actually see those trades go through as long as the commissioner processes them, and they should, because this is Dynasty League. You want to have that real season NFL feel. So that is a great feature. You can do multiple team trades. So if I have a player or two I'm interested, and I'm talking to the one manager and I'm like, okay, I may need to bring a third team in to make this work, you can do that as well. And that is awesome because you don't really see that on many platforms, if any. The platforms that I've used in the past, you couldn't do that, let alone make a trade during the draft and it was able to be processed during the draft. So those are two great benefits of using the Sleeper app. The IR slot, and you can determine what it's used for, and the trade functionality of you can make the trades during the draft. You can make multiple pick trades. You can do multiple player trades. You can do multiple team trades as well. And you can do that during a draft, and all the commissioner has to do is approve that stuff. So that is awesome. You can do extra game a week, league median. We're going to leave that. Prevent bench players from being dropped after game starts, which, like, if a game starts, you really shouldn't be able to drop that player. I've seen some leagues do that, and it's like, his game already started. Lock all free agents and waiver moves. You can do that. Now, what's important right here is supplemental draft rounds. The supplemental draft rounds are pretty much what's going to determine how many rounds you'll have for when you do the drafts after your initial draft. In the supplemental draft, you can either decide to do a draft with only rookies, or you can do a draft with the rookies and whoever is on free agency. What I prefer to do is do one with rookies only, because that's how the real draft is, rookies only. So we're trying to make it feel as real as possible. So supplemental drafts, I love it. And for the purposes of this, we're going to leave it at 3. I've noticed in larger leagues, once you start doing 5 supplemental rounds, it just gets to be a bit too much. So I like to do 3 or 4, most likely stay in 3. So when you are creating your dynasty league and say you have like 12, 14 teams, you want to consider that you don't need 5 rounds, because you got to also realize, and what I've noticed is, once it's time to you do your supplemental draft, then people are having to drop a whole bunch of players. And sometimes that can take away from the trading, because you trade and say you do have some draft picks. So you got to be careful with that. I think 3 is the perfect amount for supplemental draft. And plus, you got to realize, if say you're doing a dynasty league with offensive players only, you got to think of how many offensive players you really will be drafting that's going to have some type of value at some point. So you want to kind of really consider that. That is very important. Okay. Now, taxi squad slots. That is another great feature that the Sleeper app has added. It is really good. So taxi squad, I look at the taxi squad as kind of like a practice squad to me. And what I mean by that is, you know how the practice squad, you can have some players on the practice squad, you can bring them to the active roster if you have to. So the taxi squad is pretty much similar to that. So, and you can choose how many you want. and I'll continue to explain. So when you scroll down, let's pull up a little so we can see just how many. So you scroll down, got 9. Let's go all the way down here. You got is a 9, I see. If my computer would scroll down a bit. So 9, I just want to show you how many you can add. You can add up to 30, which is just extreme. So the most I'll do is like 4. And then you can allow non-rookies for the taxi squad. And so we're going to do that. We're going to add non-rookies. And remember, always, if you're trying to add something, it should be in green. If it's in white, it's not added. So make sure let's show you. When it's in white, it's not added. But look at this. When it hits green, you'll also see updates saved. So just remember that going forward when you are making these adjustments. And then, so with the taxi squad, you can select years of experience limit. So you got to think about how many years of experience you want these guys to have. So no max. Players can stay on the taxi squad indefinitely. You can manually manage player duration and enforce custom rules. So 1 year. Okay, so players with more than 1 year of experience in the NFL must be activated from it. So if I've been in the league for 2 years and you have a 1 year max on the taxi squad, after a certain point, I'll have to be activated from that taxi squad. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to do any make any moves with your roster because your roster is pretty much not going to be, it's going to be out of compliance. So we'll say 2 years. And when you think of the taxi squad, think of, say you're having a draft, say you draft a player like Kellen Mond, and you know that, okay, say he's not going to play this year. Who knows if he's going to play, but you could take a chance on him and put him in a taxi squad. And depending on how many years your commissioner and pretty much your league agrees on for the number of years of experience in the taxi squad, you can have him in that taxi squad. Or this is two perfect examples, Trey Lance and Justin Fields, perfect examples. You know, you're drafting these guys in those supplemental drafts. So obviously they're not expected to play this year. So those are two great examples of players you can place in the taxi squad. And then when it's time for them to play, you can activate them to your active roster. So this is one of the great things about the Sleeper app. I really love it. And now when you scroll down here, taxi squad deadline. So some leagues don't have a deadline. And I don't like to have a deadline because at some point, like say somebody is playing well and they start the season off playing well, and then, you know, they start stinking it up a bit, and then so they're benched. And I don't have the option to add him back to the taxi squad. So what I like to do is I don't have a deadline, and you can choose whatever you want. You can do first week of preseason, second week of preseason, third week of preseason, start of regular season. So what that means is if we do start of the regular season, if I did not add those players to the taxi squad by the start of the regular season, I won't be able to add them to the taxi squad. So think about that. Think about that really good. All right, so let's look at team settings. That's pretty much your team. You name your team, and you can put your avatar. So that means you can put a logo pretty much or whatever you want there. Let's do one. Let's do it. We're gonna do one right here. We're gonna do the waiver wire queen. So see, so boom. Okay, and then you go down to roster settings. So the roster settings, you can determine pretty much like in all platforms, like say how many quarterbacks you want to start, or if you want there to be a max on how many quarterbacks they can add to the team. If you are doing individual defensive players, then when you go all the way down, it's here. So this part is self-explanatory, and you just kind of go through it and determine what you want to do. I'm going to leave it as the default roster settings. Now, scoring, you can come in here and see the different functions in scoring. It starts with, you have your passing, and you just kind of scroll down, and you can either leave it at the default settings that Sleeper has it on, or if you want, You can switch it to, you can customize it. Also, you can have the option to select Yahoo or ESPN. Okay, so let's look. And you can add different things if you want. So you want to give extra points for a 40-yard touchdown, you can. Then you see rushing. Want to do extra points for 40-yarder or whatever. You have the flexibility to go in there and do what you need to do. And obviously a lot of all platforms obviously have it so where you can kind of customize the scoring. Okay, if you're using a platform that you can't do that, you need to get off that platform. But I highly doubt there are any platforms out there like that. And so same, then you go scroll down, keep on scrolling down. You see kicking. You see it's all at the top, right in the middle, each scoring category. So kicking, you get to pick the different ones you want. Okay, and then you see team defense, same thing. Scroll down and you get to pick whatever it is you want and determine the points. Yes, I keep going the wrong one. Come on. Gotta bear with me. My computer is not the greatest. Brand new, but moves like a dinosaur. Yes, y'all. Anyways, y'all hit that like button if you are enjoying the features of the Sleeper app. Okay, y'all. So back to the scoring, special team defense. You see that, then special teams player. If you want to do something for just players, say you have a player who's really good in the return game or in the league, you want to award points. And I say, I'm going to draft this guy because he is really good in the return game. I'm going to get points for that. You know, some leagues will add extra points, extra incentives for that, and some don't. It just really depends on the commissioner and how they set up the league. And you see all of these extra different bonuses that you can add to give extra incentives for the quarterback, wide receiver, running back, tight end. So it's a lot. And then you see for individual defensive player, you see the different scoring categories and just pick, what do you want to give them? Okay. If you want to give them 10 points for a touchdown, like, you know, I'm Khalil Mack, I'm running back for a touchdown. There you go. Individual defensive player TD. So, but that's if you're in the league that you start individual defensive players. Okay. And then you just hit save. When you just remember, every time you're adding something or making any type of changes, you want to save. Save is your best friend. Draft setting. So here we go. Here's very much important. You want to select the time of the draft. So it's set for 7:30 p.m. So we're going to leave 7:30 p.m. We're going to leave for August 11. We're going to keep it at Snake, and we're going to do 2 minutes per pick. Okay, that's more than enough. You have the flexibility to move it. So you see they got 5 minutes here. You can go all the way up to 24 hours per pick. Some leagues do that, some leagues don't. It really just depends on, I feel like something like this, the league should vote on, because not everybody wants to do 24 hours per pick or 5 hours, or some people may feel 30 seconds is not enough. I think everyone feels 30 seconds is not enough time. So consider that, just consider everything that you're doing here, right? That's what I'm talking about. All right, so let's scroll down and see what else. Obviously, when users run out of time, we'll let computer auto pick. If you don't want that, you can always click it off. So we're gonna leave it at 2 minutes because that's reasonable. And then you can randomize the draft order, or you can assign. So obviously you should be randomizing. You don't want to just say, oh, we're gonna give John this pick and we're gonna give Kim that pick. No, randomize it, okay? Because you don't want people saying, oh, you and John are cool, that's why you gave him the first pick. Oh, you don't like Kim, so you gave her the last pick. Just randomize the draft. Let the app do it for you so it's out of your hands, and hey, it's randomized, and it's going to show you in the actual league where it's randomized. So if you randomize it 6 times, it's going to show every time. So everything that you do, the league will be able to see it. So don't do anything, try to do anything sneaky and have your league coming for you. Come on now, commissioners. Y'all know it's hard out here being a commissioner. So do it right. You can set keepers and stuff in Dynasty if you want to do that. And you can do all available players for the purposes of this draft. This is a startup Dynasty League. We're going to keep it at all players. But again, like I said earlier, once you do those supplemental drafts, you can select the rookies only. You want to do vets. For the supplemental drafts, it really should just be the rookies. That's it. Because like what else? We treat it as if we're real NFL. Once their season starts, we start, and then we're doing business, free agents, trades. We keep it at trading all year round, pretty much. We keep it active, and everyone enjoys being active all year round because it's Dynasty League. So they love it. I love it. It's fun. It's exciting. So if you really want to stay connected all year round with football, this is a great way. And the Sleeper app to me is set up so you can really get that feel of running your own team. And what I mean by running it, you're not just drafting a team and redraft, and then at the end of the season, it's over. No, when you pick your team, and I'll stress this, when you pick your team in Dynasty, that is your team as long as the league is up. Unless y'all have some type of vote, we'll start over after a certain amount of years, which why start over? It's a Dynasty League. If you're going to start over, you might as well just do redraft. But for the purposes of Dynasty, once you draft that team, it is your team. So make sure you take it serious. All right. I got a great video which gets you ready for the draft. Check it out. Trying to help you out. You're on the right channel if you are trying to win your league, and Waiver Wire Queen's trying to get you right. All right. So let's get right back into it. And then, all right, third round reversal. So at third round, you can switch it, which I just recommend just leaving it as is. And then sort players by name instead of ADP. Leave it by ADP, okay? We don't need Christian McCaffrey all the way down, way in the middle when he say it is pretty much projected to have the highest ADP. We don't need that, okay? So please do ADP, please, guys. Don't switch that, all right? You can reset after the draft. You don't want to. I don't recommend doing that unless y'all league agrees to do it, okay? Because you don't want to come off as that type of commission that, he or she resetted the draft because they didn't like their team, or, you want to be transparent, honest, upfront, and do everything by the book so you don't lose the trust and confidence in the league, because most likely you're running a Dynasty League and you're most likely running a money league. And once money gets involved, people get funny. So you know how it is out here. It's hard out here for commissioners. I'm telling you, shout out to all my commissioners out there who are running fantasy football leagues and doing the damn thing. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. So let's move right along. Division settings. If you want divisions, you can do so. You can do 2 divisions, 5 divisions, no divisions. We're going to leave it at that. Member settings. Go on in here. You want to say I have my team. Say this person I'm adding. So I remove someone and then I want to add somebody else. You can do that. So see, and like say I have people set up on a Sleeper app. I've became friends with them or whatever. I can select from here. Or say if I remove someone from the league and I add someone, I can go here and it should give me the option to select that person, to assign them, make sure they're assigned to that team as well. Co-owner settings. This would be for my team, but Waiver Wire Queen run her team on her own. I don't need no co-owner out here, but if you need one, you need one. It is what it is. Now, commissioner control, some of the features on the actual mobile app, you won't be able to do on the mobile. So on the mobile app, so you have to log onto the desktop and make some changes. As you can see, look, different things you could do. If you have to go in and adjust the score, if say someone was to release a player, you go in here, you can go in here and add that player. If they release a player by accident, I don't know about you guys, but I'm looking at people suspect when a player is released by accident, because the Sleeper app will prompt you and pretty much give you that last second to say, nah, I don't want to drop the player. So you got so many different things you can do as the commissioner. in here when it comes to scoring and other different things. You can add points. You can adjust the free agency. I call them bucks. It's cash, free agency cash. You can adjust that. Like for example, in one of my leagues, we're doing a weekly incentive. So the team with the highest total of points, we're going to give them an extra 20 bucks. So commissioner has a lot that they can do on the sleeper app. And let me go and I'm gonna go and tell you a few things you cannot do as the commissioner on the actual mobile app. And what you would do is to just log into the to your desktop and just do it. So let's see. Why don't y'all tell me what apps are you guys using for your leagues? I'm using Yahoo for one of my redrafts, and then everything else is in the sleeper. I most likely may just move that over to the sleeper app. So let's see. Oh, it looks like they may have updated everything to where you can do more on the app now, which is good. So yeah, it looks like you can pretty much do most of everything on the actual mobile app, which is great. Pull it back up on the mobile app, which is great. You can see that. So you should be able to do what you need to do on the mobile app, which is good. I'm glad they made that update. Previous leagues, you'll see that there. If you want to delete the league, you can delete the league. Now you'll do your little draft, you'll see your team. And then, like I said, down, instead of seeing all of these picks, since it's a starter dynasty league, you'll just see the picks for your supplemental. So for the purposes of this league, we only have 3. So you'll see like 2021, you'll see first round, second round, third round. You'll see that. Let's scroll back up. Some other things. The draft, you'll click and it'll pretty much tell you how many days and hours, minutes down to the seconds of your draft. Here, I would go and set the draft order, but I should add some teams here. You know, I need to get some people involved, but we're not going to do that here. And then league activity, this will be everything. So if I'm making any type of changes or anything that's going on in this league, you'll see it here. People have conversations all day, every day, and in most of my leagues. So you'll see that. Some other features and functions on the benefits of the sleeper app. When you click players, it'll just, right now it's going to have all of the players. This will pretty much be like free agency. So it has all of the players because we're getting ready for, our startup draft. You'll see research, and that it'll give you a few pieces of information. It'll tell you the best available players, and it'll tell you who's trending up and who's trending down. Everybody go here, look to see who's trending up and try to grab those guys. And it may be somebody that you already have or on your team, or someone who's on another team, or somebody you see they trending up, but you're like, nah, but this is really good. And I'll click on one of these players too, just to show you a few different things. Also, this is a little bonus for y'all. So I can click on the player, and then you see how many seasons Deontay Foreman has been in the league. So it'll go back, and pretty much if he has any stats, it'll show that information. Down here, it has his career stats. It gives you the breakdown of his fantasy points. It gives you a whole lot, which is really good. So let's see. He played a little bit in 2020. Okay, so here it goes down here. So you'll see what he did, which is good. It'll show you pretty much the same stuff like a lot of leagues, the projections. The great thing about this is you can see the snap percentage, which is really good. If I'm checking for a player, I want to know what's that snap percentage, because if he's not really playing and he's going in a downward trajectory, I am not checking for him. But snap percentage is very important in my opinion. So yes. Now you can see this information also under the history tab. In the history tab, you can click on that on the mobile app, and what you'll see is every year, and you'll see a breakdown of their statistics for that year. You'll see how many fantasy points they had for the year. You'll also see their rankings in PPR leagues and standard leagues, which is really great because that'll tell you a lot as well. I love that. I really do. That's dope. And then also you can click on that player. When you're on the mobile app, you click on the player and you just click team, and it'll tell you like the whole roster and everyone from quarterbacks, pretty much depth chart. So you'll see that. And then pretty much on the mobile app, you don't have to click on teams, because once you click on that player, and when you scroll down here, you'll see it right here, and it'll tell you quarterbacks. It'll tell you who's the backup quarterback, and it'll have it for pretty much the whole team, which is really good. I love that. And then it'll give the latest news. One of the great things about the Sleeper app is news. You get news quickly. News come in very fast on the Sleeper app. So don't sleep on the Sleeper app, because you get the news fairly quickly. But okay, so let's click out of this player. You see all of that. Okay, so you see it. That's good. And let's scores. You'll see the games. And it's going to be Thursday. This is going to be the first preseason game. I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited. The season is here. Woo, it is fantasy football season. I don't know about you guys, but I'm super hyped and I am ready. I'm ready. Y'all ready? If y'all ready, hit that like button and subscribe to Waiver Wire Queen, because we ready. We fantasy football addicts. We are addicted to fantasy football. We love fantasy football. I don't know about you guys, but I do. Okay, let me stop. All right, so over here, it'll show you the number of leagues you're in. I'm not going to scroll down because I don't want to show y'all how many leagues I really am in. I'm in quite a few, but it'll show you all those leagues and how many, pretty much how many leagues you're in. So this is pretty much it for the Dynasty League. All right, y'all, hit that subscribe button and follow Waiver Wire Queen for more on fantasy football. It's going to be a great year. We're going to have fun. We're going to enjoy ourselves. We're going to get you right for the upcoming season, and we're going to make sure that you are ready. We're going to make sure you are ready to win your league, dominate your league, because guess what? We're trying to be the best, all right? We're not trying to come in second, third place or whatever, or last place. We're trying to be the best. We're trying to win. If it's a bragging rights, we're trying to win for bragging rights. If it's a money league, trying to win some money. But anyways, y'all have a great evening, and let me know what you think of the Sleeper app and setting up a Dynasty League. Peace.